Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Agoracom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, he needs no introduction. Rob Anson, CEO, Loop Insights, trades under MTRX in Canada, and for friends of the US, RACMF. You know them as the global leader in providing real-time data analytics through artificial intelligence that drives customer activation and engagement, primarily in the brick and mortar space. More than just lip service. This is just some of the news that's come out in the last few weeks. A strategic alliance with Nielsen IQ, a 5-store pilot agreement with Sobeys, Canada's second largest grocer, approved for the Oracle Partner Network. We can go on and on and on, but the big press release today, Loop Insights signs LOI to become official technology partner to the $2.7 billion All Net Resort and Arena project in Las Vegas. Rob, welcome back, man.
Thanks, George.
Congratulations on this. This is simply a massive new resort, as viewers can see on their screens right now. For those who are watching, listen to my podcast, you can't see it. It incorporates a state-of-the-art arena, hotels, all the facilities you can imagine. How big is this in terms of scale and scope compared to anything you've done so far? Because this feels like Loop everywhere.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity, George. This goes back to 2019 when I first originally met the All Net team in Las Vegas. They were in the beginning stages of getting funding finalized. 2.7 billion, obviously a big ticket to raise. Along came COVID. Our original agreement expired. And as a result of COVID, it actually expedited a lot of their fundraising and successfully completed their raise. They've now got county approvals. They've got contracts in place with the labor unions, and they just started pre-construction now. So it's a full go. And it's amazing for us to get in the ground floor. Jackie Robinson, this project is all about experience. There's a lot of old school throwback stuff in this building with the bulkhead seats for the showroom and a lot of nostalgia that they're bringing back, as they say. So it's going to be very interesting to see what it looks like here when it's all said and done in roughly 28 months, depending upon who you're asking there. Jackie's, of course, wanting to push as hard as they can.
And they're already digging, right? They're already digging right now.
Yeah, it's already pre-construction now. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be back down there in a couple of weeks to meet with the team and some of the engineers and IT groups that are also part of the project. So maybe we could do an Agoracom live from the office in the dirt pit down there, which it is today. So it's a huge opportunity to be in a ground floor for us. Gives Tamer and his team all of the ability to create all of the art of what's possible. And each and every touch point, as you mentioned, is exactly why we partnered here with AllNet, and of course being supported with Apple VAS and Google. It's all about experiential and convenience, and we'll have every day touch point here covered. From booking to data departure, and then of course retargeting through all of that personalized data flow.
Give us a couple examples of some. I know we know a lot of what you're capable of doing, but of some of the cool things going on. For example, that 23,000 seat arena, which is wild. It's got the retractable roof. Also has, from what I understand, about 15,000 square foot screens outside. So give us some examples of some cool stuff.
So the arena is actually it's wrapped. They call it translux. So the building is wrapped in translux, meaning that the whole building is in fact a large digital signage. There's I think it's 15,000 seat capacity just outside for people to be part of the venue and all of the energy and excitement that's going on in stadium, but outside live watching it with the public. So it's pretty spectacular. When we start to look at the integrated, touch points here with the wallet pass, now, from the minute someone books, as we start to push here, they're relaunching all of their social assets now. This thing's full go. Their webpage, of course. I mean, this has been a long grind, as you can imagine, for these guys. 2.5 years here. I've been trying to put this together, and to have it come to fruition now has been, it's a Matrix moment once again. So it's great for us, and it's going to be first of its kind. This is a family entertainment. There's no gaming here, which is truly unique for Las Vegas. And I think when I look at Las Vegas, it is very antiquated in a lot of the business practices today. Obviously, working with MGM and others, of course, and learning about their challenges. To be able to come in here at ground floor and build up, it is very refreshing, because now we can streamline all of this automation and artificial intelligence applications to truly create a unique visitor experience.
Does this what signal does this send out to the venue world? The fact that you've been chosen as the technology partner on what I probably think is one of Vegas's biggest brand new resorts. I don't know all the construction going on there, but this is obviously a major one.
It is.
What kind of signal does it send out to the world, the venues, not just in Vegas, but all over the world?
Well, it's like anything, George. It's momentum, right? We started to go back to, the days we did the first pilot for BD Global, right? And then it led to another opportunity, another opportunity. Then all of a sudden, PGA came knocking on the door with BD Global, and MGM came knocking on the door, and WBC, and so on and so forth. And this is a result of that. You got to remember, we signed an original deal with these guys back in late 2019. So for them to come back and see, when I was down there a couple of weeks ago, that was part of the reason for my trip, as well as our event, of course, and other meetings. But to be able to do a presentation for them to see how far we've come really blew them away. I mean, their tech team has over 150 years of experience. So they've been there, done that, seen it all.
Wow.
So for them to be, as excited as they were about the opportunity for Loop to come in and take care of a lot of the heavy lifting from the IT build out. It's a pretty proud moment for us, for sure.
And that's got to send another strong signal, because I didn't realize that the tech team, you probably weren't a shoo-in just to get the project again, because you guys originally signed up and you partnered together in 2019, but this is 2 years later. So I'm assuming the world was over to them to say if they want to go to GeorgeCom or somebody else. So the fact that you guys got it again speaks volumes, no?
Well, it is. And you think how much the world's changed since late 2019. I mean, if I had told you back then that we're going to shut down the world and we're still going to be dealing with COVID 18 months later, the world's going to go all contactless, George, and you would have laughed at me. So, of course, one of the key things here is when I met Jackie Robinson in 2019, I was blown away by his vision of what he was trying to create, because it ultimately paralleled exactly what I was building, right? It was all about automating experiences, creating touch points throughout the venue to drive experiences. And that's exactly what Loop was building. So it was a perfect match from square one. Kind of your point of you had me at hello. That was that moment. And what I love about their team is they're super passionate about what they're building and what they're doing. And it's all about the finite details. And that's what makes Las Vegas special. It's the effort and service and level of that which they put into everything. And this will be second to none. This is going to be very, very impressive.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because I had Jackie Robinson's quote where he said, Loop Insights has become a proven and trusted provider of venue management and real-time customer engagement with its multiple recent successes in Las Vegas. Does winning in Las Vegas mean even more to Loop than winning elsewhere? So, I mean, yeah, great if you won venues in Toronto or Vancouver or New York, but does winning in Las Vegas mean even more, because that's where the creme de la creme is, where the most money is being spent on the biggest possible projects?
It is. And strategically for, myself, when I look and focus on Las Vegas, George, I mean, it's the entertainment, sports, capital of the world turning into now, it's retail, of course. It's hospitality, it's food and beverage, it's everything Loop. I mean, this is what you talk about containment and wallet share and all these various attributes of what we've built here. It's the perfect setting for us. And, of course, there's challenges right now with reopening and staffing, and they've lost, hundreds of millions of dollars here. But I mean, the same side of it, it's exciting here in the US to me because it's reopening. I mean, everything is full bore now, right? Where you come back home here, and you find out that there's not to be any fans at CFL this year. I mean, that's 6.5 months down the road, and they're already making these decisions, kiboshing things. So it's kind of different opportunities here, and we're going to be forced to continue to focus down in the U.S., of which 100% we are. And it doesn't get any bigger in Las Vegas from us, from a credibility standpoint, as well as you think about the trade shows that are reopening. Great opportunity for Luke to perhaps participate in some of those.
What does this also do for helping push other deals over the line that you've been working on in Vegas and with big venues?
Well, what it does, George, I mean, it's even the same side here of working with the All Net team. Each and every day, it seems for us, is we get another further introduction and another further introduction, and the networking just seems to grow and grow and grow. That's really, you're a big, proponent here of third-party validation, right? And for us, these projects here, you start to become that trusted source, as they say, right? The hardest thing is to get your foot in the door. Once you're in the door, that's where all the fun happens, right? Because when you're in there and you can say, hey, what about this? What about that? It's very easy to go, oh, wow, great idea. Let's try that. Can you build this? Yes, of course we can, right? So it's really cracking that nut. Takes a great deal of patience, and that's something that I've learned to probably better myself at over the last couple of years, is patience. You got to let things unfold, right? I mean, that's the hardest part. I want nothing more than, deal after deal every single day, of course, to come in. But I mean, it's all reality here of time. You're working with huge organizations, like Nielsen. It took me 8 months, right? And you can't push it. It's on their dime, on their, on their clock. But this is what this does here. This just gives us another opportunity to become, another network component of this. And to have the Luke name and logo attached to this project is huge internationally for us.
Fair to say that that's going to just broaden the pipeline even stronger, both with venues. And I know, because I think we all know you guys are in Vegas so much, had so much great success in Vegas, that we've got to assume that you've got a great pipeline there. Is it growing? And does this also help grow the pipeline around the world with venues who are saying, okay, now the All Net Resort is going all in with Loop? We got to
go. There's actually, it was the last PGA event for us, I think, around the numbers that were released for MGM. We got a lot of international attention for that. It was well timed too, because Mike spoke at SB Live. So you've got a lot of the, of course, Wimbledon and soccer panelists that were with Mike for that. So all of these things, I mean, it's just, you got to get out there, right? We talk about Loop, like I'm on here and it's all exciting, but it's all the time that we spend, networking and social and LinkedIn. I mean, this is why I'm up at 4 a.m. every day. Is just on it, right? I mean, you got to have incredible, appetite for this, because it's not easy, right? I mean, you got, I put this news out today and the market's imploding overnight, and what do, right? All I can do is smile and keep on going, because it is what it is. It's another day in the life of a publicly traded CEO.
But do you, if you're like, I'm so you're like me, right? Even though I like a ticker to be green, great. I really don't pay all that much attention to the ticker being green or red on any given day. I mean, there are times when you and I speak and I say, hey, I ask you, I say, hey, by the way, how's the stock doing today? Because the real focus is, this is another brick that shows where Loop is going to be in 12 months and 18 months and 24 months. Do you feel even more confident today, given all the announcements you've been putting out in 2021, that you're going to make 2021 that year that you said in December, you said 2020 is going to look like nothing?
Yeah.
Compared
well,
to
it will be. And like I said, and I said on here last time, that Nielsen truly helps narrows, I guess, and focus the business. It'll help truly define what we are. I think by the end of this year, people will truly understand the power of what I've architected here with my team. And that's where I'm focused. I mean, I don't look at, it's day by day. I just can't, right? For me, it's about, where are we at the end of the month? Where are we at the end of the quarter? More importantly, where are we at the end of next year? And so on and so forth. Because each and every day, you know, we're getting stronger, we're getting better. Got an amazing team behind us now, which is, you know, fantastic, that Tamer's been able to put together. You know, we've got a tremendous amount of marketing assets and great work from Ian Cameron, our new VP of marketing, and Devin Seidel, director of marketing. We're just gaining momentum. We truly are just starting. Nobody knows who we are. I mean, you know, I've done a lot
That's
of
good. That I have to disagree. If Nielsen knows who you guys are, everybody knows who you guys are.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same side, George. You know, for me, you know, it's almost like become like an obsession, right? We've got a lot of recognition in Canada, but in the US and internationally, people have no idea who we are, right? There's just so many companies, and you know, the space is very crowded. This is what I've said before, though, that the power of real time is everything that you're going to hear more and more. And those were the words out of course, Richard Lee's mouth regarding why Loop and the power of what we're about to do is all power of real time. So,
no, well, look, again, to remind everybody, Nielsen used the words transform the retail sector, right?
Yep.
So words like that can be used lightly by guys like me, but they're not used lightly by the likes of Nielsen, because they know the whole world's watching and they just can't go off in hyperbole. So when they say something like that, they got to. If you're change the world if you're going to transform the world of retail with Nielsen, you know, do you think you'll also be transforming the world of venue management?
Well, to me, it's all the same. I mean, this is why we're able to scale here, because each and everything we do is all automated, right? The complete sales cycle, lead generation, everything's built through HubSpot, all of our billing and services, and you know, device management as well as account management. It's all fully automated. So it doesn't matter if we're doing, you know, Wild Birds, or we're doing your CBD, or we're doing, you know, the Las Vegas Knights, or All Net. I mean, it's all the same thing built over and over that we're replicating. So that's why we're able to onboard very early, very quickly, and go full throttle. So for us, it's not about boiling the ocean. We've already done the heavy lifting. We've done the hard work. Now it's just about growing our brand, growing our, you know, executing on our scale, converting, of course, all of these early stage pilots, and learning from them. You know, it's is what our goal was get into as many pilot projects as simply possible. One, because it gains exposure. Two, we learn a hell of a lot. And three, we validate the business model. So it's a very, very exciting time for us here the next remaining 6 months or whatever it is till the end of the year. I think it's going to be some very big leaps and bounds with some very big names. And it's really good, I think, truly going to put us on the map here.
Last big question. I'm saving the biggest question for last. On behalf of Loop shareholders, will Loop shareholders get special wallet pass treatment at the All Net Resort when it's up and running? Because I want to be able to walk in there and get upgraded room. I want VIP service. And I'm sure all Loop shareholders want the same. But what are you going to do for everybody, Rob?
Yeah, exactly. No, there's a lot of cool stuff that we're building with All Net. It'll be very experiential. It'll be early stage, which helps them grow their CRM and the engagement piece with the wallet pass. So stay tuned. There'll be some pretty exciting things for Loop shareholders to touch and feel and play with as this unfolds. And there'll be all live updates and a lot of other applications that are built to keep the public and Loop shareholders as part of the build out here.
And all kidding aside, I can see a lot of us, I know I can see a lot of us when the All Net Resort is ready to go. I can see a lot of us booking our vacations there just to go be a part of it and Loop and the resort.
Yeah, it's a great location, George, too, because it's right across from the convention center. So I mean, the spillover here is, like I said, it's been fantastic. And with a lot of these convention groups reopening, you know, I think it's June 1st, Vegas fully reopens, no more masks even. As everyone's, I think it's 94% vaccinated now. World's moving on. So hopefully here in Canada, we can hop on board and get things going in the right direction.
All right. But until then, you got your hands full with Vegas and America. And congratulations, Rob, again Another big, great referenceable count, third-party validation, all of it. You're making us proud.
Thank you, George.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform. To Rob Anson, the CEO of Loop Insights, trades on the TSX Venture Exchange on the stock symbol MTRX. And for our friends in the US, under RACMF. If you're new to the story and just starting your due diligence, 2 steps: get to Agoracom, get to the Loop Hub, take a look at the profile page, because there's so much going on here in terms of the scope of technology and the scope of business that's happening. We've got all neatly laid out to you for you, so you can really get a good overview. And then make sure you hop over to the Loop Insights website till you do your deep dive due diligence, because you've heard what Rob has had to say and you've listened to what Rob had to say. The rest is up to you to decide if you think Loop is going to be part of the big technological push in real-time artificial intelligence engagement and activation with the world. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.